Hey guys, it's been a long time. I'm sorry I haven't been on here opening up any baseball cards for several years. I had a lot of personal problems I had to deal with, and luckily those are all behind me now. I have been dying to open up this. This is a 1986 Topps baseball box of wax packs sealed by the Baseball Card Exchange. I have had this for so many years, waiting for the right time to open it, and I feel great now. I feel like this is the perfect time. I know some of you guys enjoyed me opening packs along the way, and I'm sorry that it's been so long. Hopefully this inspires me to keep going with this. I have so many unopened cards in my office in there, but this was my favorite set. This is the set that really got me collecting. Prior to this, I had been a football card guy when I was young, and this set here, I don't know. I had started. My cousin got me started collecting baseball cards. This happened to be the ones that were on the shelf, and I went crazy. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, let me get this out of the way. Funny how one of my last videos, I almost let this grow all the way out before I started. But in one of my last videos that I did several years ago, I had rammed a drill bit into my thumbnail, and it was had that mark on there. And this one looked exactly the same. It's almost grown all the way out now. I don't know. Maybe I work a little clumsily. I don't know. But I always seem to get things on my hands like that, sores and cuts. But anyway, let me open this up. Now, if you open up a box of baseball cards like that, you're not my kind of people. I love watching you open cards and everything, but we are just totally different. I could not. There's no way I could scratch a big X into this box. I just couldn't do it. This box, it has just as much nostalgic value for me as the cards inside. I mean, the bottom, look, I mean, when I take this off, I'll show you the bottom, but you know how it is. It has these cards on here, and I don't know, man, that just irks me. It's a pet peeve of mine, so I try to be careful, find a crack where my blade can go in, and just get it that way. I mean, hell, what's the rush? Like, I don't know. What are you trying to prove? I've got so much money and I don't care about cards unless they're rookie cards. I don't get it. I'll never understand it. If somebody wants to explain it, that's fine. I understand that newer, like more recent cards, the boxes may not be as nostalgic and they're not as cool as this. But I see people do it all the time and it drives me nuts. And look at that. Reggie Jackson, Don Mattingly, Willie McGee, Oda B. McDowell. And here's the cool thing. Okay, 86 Topps. It's called 86 Topps, but this set represents the 1985 season. And in the 1985 season, there's your American League MVP. There's your National League MVP. Mattingly, he went off, had 145 RBIs, which hadn't been seen since the Red Sox of, 1959 maybe? Ted Williams and, oh God, his teammate, they tied, I think. Anyway, Willie McGee, he led the National League in batting. I think he batted like 353, 356, somewhere in there. But yeah, 2 MVPs right on the bottom. So yeah, when I look at these cards, even though they say 1986, this is 1985 to me. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but that's the way I am. So let's see. I'm not going to open this whole case on this video. I know that would be, I'm long-winded anyway, so that would drive you guys crazy. But let's just take out this top layer here, and then we'll see how we do, how quickly we can get through these 4 packs. All right, here we go. Pack 1. I wish you knew how I felt right now. This is so cool. Just seeing this. Win a trip to 1987 spring training. I never won the trip. I ended up going to 1996 spring training. That was a trip. So yeah, I had to wait till I was an adult. But let's see. I'm the kind of guy, I don't fly through these to try to find a certain rookie card or anything. And this set's, it's not one of those sets like the previous year, 1985 tops. It had some rookies that everybody was chasing. But let's see here. So there's that. Okay. Frank Tanana. Okay, when I was collecting these cards, this card wouldn't have meant much to me. But Frank Tanana had an amazing career. He was a fireballer for the Angels, and he was, I think he was like 19 years old when he came into the league. And there was a, you know, in the early 70s, Nolan Ryan, he led the American League almost every year in strikeouts. And one season he was injured and he didn't have a complete season. And Frank Tanana, he ended up leading the majors in strikeouts that year. I think he had 269 strikeouts. But he's a lefty. At one time, he held the record, American League record for most strikeouts by a left-hander in a single game. He had 17. That record eventually would be broken by Ron Guidry when he had 18 in one game. Now, as we know, Steve Carlton, at the time, Steve Carlton had the record for strikeouts in a game by a left-hander overall, but he was in the National League and he had 19. So let's see here. Frank Tanana, he ended up, okay, he was a power pitcher who injured himself and had to learn to try to be a finesse, a slick pitcher, and he was able to extend his career for so many years, about 20 years or more, and ended up having about 2,770 strikeouts, something like that. Almost hit 2,800 strikeouts. Let's see here. Yeah, he had 269 strikeouts, like I said, which in italics there. In 75, he led the league. But you can clearly see he started out 180, then he hit 269, 261, 205, and then boom, 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 boom. He ended up just being a finesse pitcher. But still, to stick around that long, have that many strikeouts is really awesome. Ray Burris, Jerry Hairston, Rudy Law, Jeff Barkley, Ron Kittle, 1983 Rookie of the Year in the American League. Ron Kittle hit 35 home runs his rookie year, but he struck out a lot. And he made the All-Star game his rookie year. And I think he was working in a furniture store or something. And he went to go, somebody convinced him to go play, to go try out or something. And he had a 50 home run season in the minors before getting called up, having a 35 home run season his rookie year, which, you know, at the time was, I think, the second most. I think 38 was the record. Frank Robinson had gotten that. I think, was it Rudy York? I can't remember, but They both had 38, and I think his 35 at the time was the record. Now in the National League, Strawberry won Rookie of the Year, and Kittle won Rookie of the Year in the American League. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, 35 homers, 100 RBIs, and he led the league with 150 strikeouts. People gave him grief about that, but today that's nothing. That's expected. If they would have turned him loose to just swing away because they realized the value of a home run over how much a strikeout damages you, they would have let him swing away. He probably would have had a 50 home run season in the majors too. Ron Kittle. Gerald Perry. These cards aren't very centered, as you can see. Most of the ones out of this pack are looking pretty rough. But Gerald Perry with the Braves, I totally remember him playing with the Braves. Atlee Hammaker. Okay. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong here. I feel like he won an ERA crown. And I may be wrong. Maybe he pitched a no-hitter, but I do. Let's see. Did he win an ERA crown? Yes, he did. 83 with the Giants, 2.25 ERA. So he only had 172 innings, so just, 10.1 innings over the hump to qualify. But yeah, there you go. Atlee Hammaker, ERA champ. George Vukovich. Is that Pete Vukovich? Are they related? Is it the same person? Nah, I don't know. Thought it might have his whole name up there. Tony Pena. He was so cool the way he stuck his leg out when he was squatted down behind the plate. Kind of sat on his butt, but he would throw you out. He would gun your ass out sitting down like that. Chris Welsh. Juan Berenger. Flamethrower. As a matter of fact, on the movie Fastball, Wade Boggs says he's the fastest he ever batted against. Let's see. Yeah, 129 strikeouts in 157 innings at the time, but only 5'11". But speaking of flamethrowers, no doubt, look at that. I love that look, that scowling look. I'm sure the photographer yelled, "Hey, Goose!" And he turned around, and they got that picture with his aviators on, his little Fu Manchu mustache. This guy would blow your doors off with a fastball. Big herky-jerky fastball coming at you. Kill your ass. Look here. Oh, I'll tell you something cool about this. It's not going to be reflected on this card. In 1975, I think. Yeah, he had a 1.84 ERA, led the league with 26 saves, 130 strikeouts. And see that next year they turned him into a starter. But I believe it was 1975 or the year after he came with the Pirates. That's what it was. I think it was this year with the Pirates right here, 77. 1.62 ERA, 26 strikeouts, 151 strikeouts, 26 saves, 151 strikeouts in 133 innings, 11-9. I think that season right there, if you look it up on Baseball Reference, is the highest WAR by a reliever in baseball history. I want to say he had over 9 WAR as a reliever, close to 10. And there's been some good seasons, don't get me wrong. Suter had some good seasons. This 1985 Mark Eichhorn, he had a high WAR that year, but there's a season. Goose Gossage has the single season record for WAR by a reliever, and I think, and he's a Hall of Famer now, so he doesn't need any more praise. But I think that's a pretty cool thing to know. Frank Eufema and Dick Ruthven. Okay, I can speed this up a little bit. I know I get a little talkative, but I've been excited to do this. So let's see what this second pack has. I love the black border over the top of these cards. Let's see here. I wish they wouldn't. There was a little sneak peek, wasn't it? Okay, there's that. Brad Willman, Ron Mathis, the Mariners leaders, but that's Dave Henderson, I believe, on the front there. And he, let's see. Yeah, depicted on the front, Dave Henderson, Dean of the Mariners, continuous service since September 3rd, 1981. I think he switches to the Red Sox, I believe. Glenn Hoffman, NL All-Star, Ozzie Smith. Tell you something cool about Ozzie. I mean, he wouldn't think it's cool, but and then he gets a lot of praise. He's a great guy. I'm not trying to dog on him or anything, but and let's see, when he was with the Padres around 1980, 79, 80, he won the anti-Triple Crown, which is someone who qualifies for the batting title and has the fewest home runs, fewest RBIs, and lowest batting average. Ozzie Smith won the anti-Triple Crown one year. That's pretty crazy. These checklists, that takes me right back. Now, actually, when I started collecting, I would check them off. I was trying to collect them all, and I'm sure if this set ever ended up being worth anything, the checklists usually are worth money because people did that. Jerry Reed, Scott McGregor, former 20-game winner for the Orioles. Let's see. Yep, 1980. He won 20 games. His teammate that year won 25 games, and the Cy Young Award, Steve Stone, and I think only once yet. I think it was 1990. Bob Welch won 27 games, and that's the only other person to win 25 since Steve Stone did it. Pete Rose, if you've watched any of my videos, I love Pete Rose. I mean, if you like statistics, how can you not? He's got them all. I mean, not home runs, but he's the man. He's high on every list. Games, at bats, runs, hits, doubles, total bases. I mean, he had a 44-game hitting streak. He played in over 700 consecutive games twice, I think. 2 different streaks. I mean, the guy was just something else. Switch hitter. I mean, what else? 1973 MVP, 1963 Rookie of the Year. He took the game seriously, played it like it was supposed to be played. If you were a Mike Schmidt fan, you owe this man. I mean, he gave Mike Schmidt his mojo and took him from an all-star quality, 30-some home run a year guy to a 3-time MVP, greatest third baseman in history. That's what Pete Rose did for Mike Schmidt. He gave him his mojo, made him believe that he was the man, and got the Phillies a world championship along the way too. Bruce Benedict, Jerry Willard, Rich Dower. Dang, these cards, I hate them being flipped. Barbaro Garby, looks like a kid. Let's see. Hell, he's my dad's age. He's born in 56. My dad was born, he was born December 56. My dad was born August 56. But, I mean, my dad was only 16 when I was born, so my dad's still not old, 69 years old. Mike Smithson, Chris Spire. 2 down. Okay. Rick Honeycutt, Kurt Wardle, Juan Augusto, Lou Whitaker. Really, I mean, now that, how can Trammell be in the Hall of Fame and Lou Whitaker not? Look at their stats. I mean, they came in, they debuted on the exact same day, played like 18 or 19 years together. Amazing, double play combo. They were 2 sides of the same coin. I want Lou to get in the Hall of Fame. He definitely deserves it. And their stats are almost, I mean, they're seriously so close to being identical. Gino Petralli. Okay, this is a Phil Necro record breaker. Oldest pitcher to hurl a shutout. I'll never forget this. This record has been broken now by Jamie Moyer. Look, in the process, he won his 300th game. So how cool was that? On October 6, 1985, his last start of the 1985 season, he throws a shutout and wins his 300th game. And the former mark was held by Satchel Paige, who was listed at the time as at 46 years, 75 days old when he threw a shutout. Again, the story of Satchel Paige, there's a chance he could have been older than that. But Necro, with that knuckleball, he went on to win, I think, 314 games. John Denny, that's funny, there he is right there. He won the 1983 Cy Young Award, won 19 games that year. His teammate, had just won the 1982 Cy Young Award, Steve Carlton, and that was Steve's 4th and final Cy Young Award. Well, the next year in 1983, Steve Carlton did his thing again. He led the league in strikeouts with 275 strikeouts, but his win-loss record was rough, and I think he was starting to head south in his career. But Denny, his teammate, just jumped in there, went 19-6 with a 2.37 ERA. Very deserving. I mean, he only had 139 strikeouts, but yeah, after this, Denny that 1976 with the Cardinals. Denny won him an ERA crown at 2.52 when he was with the Cardinals. So then, heads to the Phillies, wins a Cy Young Award in '83, and then you don't hear much. I want to if I remember right, he had some contract issues that messed him up. Greg Pryor, Paul Molitor. Now, he Obviously Pete Rose has more hits than anybody. But as I was coming up and collecting and getting used to, where people stood on all-time lists and everything, Paul, you got to mention his 39-game hitting streak in 1987. The man had more hits than anybody not named Derek Jeter in my lifetime of being a fan. I think he finished with close to 3,400 hits, 33 something. Look here, he had 136 runs and 201 hits for that 82 Brewers team, Harvey's Wallbangers. He would go on to have like 200 hits 4 or 5 times, and what impressed me the most is he did it for multiple teams: the Blue Jays, the Twins, the Brewers, and he ended up with like 220 some hits when he was about 40 years old one season. He was a dog. That guy, phenomenal player. I think he ended up with about 1,700 and some runs, 3,300 hits, like I said, 500 stolen bases. I think he was the man. He's one of those that if it wasn't for Wade Boggs, there's a few of those people. If it wasn't for Wade Boggs, they'd have the batting crown, or more than one, like Kirby Puckett. Bill Allman, Vance Law, Johnny Ray. I have touched. Look at that card creased right there. That's so frustrating. I've touched on Johnny Ray before. He was a doubles machine. He led the National League in doubles 2 or 3 years in a row. Had an ass load of doubles in the minors. Yeah, there he is, 38 and 38. He went back to back in 83 and 84. But yeah, he was a great player. Look at that. 75 runs, 173 hits, 38 doubles, 312 batting average. It kills me how people don't care about batting average anymore. It used to be so important back in the day, didn't it? Greg Wright. I share the last name with old Greg. Oh, George. I said Greg. George Wright. Greg Gross. And another Hall of Famer, Gary Carter. I think that's such a cool picture. I don't know why. Just that Mets team. This one has a gum stain on the back, but that never bothered me. But yeah, Gary Carter, Expos Mets, amazing player. He's got to be on everybody's list of top catchers of all time. The kid. He came in so early. His nickname was the Kid, and I think I liked the way he played the game, and he was a natural born leader. Glad he made it to Hall of Fame. Rest in peace, Gary Carter. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Spring Fever Baseball. Speaking of Steve Carlton, there he is. So again, this is 1986 Topps, but this is the 1985 season, and he's on the front of the Phillies leaders for the 85 season. But yeah, he's depicted on front. Steve Carlton, Dean of the Phillies, continuous service since February 25th, 1972. Yeah, that's a little too late in his career for him to be actually on the league leaders, but he had so many years of being on league leaders, he wasn't worried about it at that time. Al Holland. What do I know about old Al Holland? I can't. Why is it slipping my mind right now? Darnell Coles. Now, hold on a second. That's way off center. Am I getting him confused? Yeah, something I wanted to say about him, but it's not coming to me. Daryl Sconyers. Razor Shines. Again, I was just starting to collect baseball cards at this time, and that name always it blew me away. I love that name. Razor Shines. Turn back the clock. Okay. You see Willie back here on this baseball register. And if any of you ever wonder, like, how's this dude know so many stats off the top of his head? It's because of books like these baseball registers the Sporting News put out. It's nothing but stats. Baseball cards mainly is the reason they, how cool is it? Their picture on the front of the guy and all of his stats on the back. Now, if you're a poor kid like I was, who did not have cable, who did not have a newspaper delivered to your house, I mean, this is the way I knew these guys. This is the way I knew faces and stats and everything. And it's a shame that I loved the game so much and knew so much about it, but never saw these people play. I didn't get to watch, unless I was over at my uncle's house who had cable and loved the Braves, and you could watch some baseball over there. And then when I got older and moved out, obviously, I got to buy all the books I wanted like this. I've got more books like this than God allows. Almanacs, baseball registers, baseball record books. Just, it's insane. And I can sit and read numbers for hours and hours and hours, reading nothing but numbers. And my ex-wife used to think I was nuts, but she was cool, and she bought me the books. So every Christmas, I would open it up, get a sports almanac. Why? Because she knew that's what I loved, and that's really cool of her. But yeah, these turn back the clock. See, so now here I am. I'm coming into baseball fandom and learning about things. So these turn back the clocks taught me a lot. And I would study these things, and it would mention, feats that older people did. And I loved it. I learned so much from these cards. Just like the record breaker cards. Craig Lefferts. Oh, Jose Rio. There was a time when, it was a short window of time, but he was the best pitcher in baseball. And it was when Maddox and Clemens were around. He took the crown. I mean, basically, Bill James, he ran, he came up with this way to score who the best pitcher was at the time. And Jose Rio took the crown. And you know what's crazy is everybody thinks about how young Dwight Gooden was when he came into the league. We think about it this way. He was 19, and he was born November 16th, 1964. Dwight Gooden was. Jose Rio, he debuted with the Yankees in 1984, and Clemens was across town with the Mets in 1984, but Jose was born May 13th, 65. He was 6 months younger than Dwight Gooden. Now, he went on to win a strikeout crown with the Reds. He won a World Series and a World Series MVP with the Reds. He actually demolished his old team, the A's. He was amazing that postseason. Chris Bando, Royals leaders. Oh, who's the dean on here? That's Hal McRae. Okay, I loved Hal McRae. I didn't think that was him. But he continues service to the Royals since December of '72. Andre Dawson. Okay, him and his teammate Tim Raines, they got caught up in that owners collusion scandal that rocked the baseball world after the '86 season. I think him and Tim Raines tried to go on the free agent market, and at the time, all the owners said, do not bid on any these fancy, popular free agents. That way they'll stay with their same team, and the same team can say, see, nobody wants you, and get them for pennies on the dollar of what they're actually worth. It's one of the dirtiest things in the history of baseball. It certainly ruined some careers and probably took the love out of the game for a lot of these guys. So Andre Dawson, nobody wanted him after the '86 season. He wanted away from the Expos. Obviously, they would have taken him back. He was their biggest star, best player. He wanted out of Montreal so bad that he told the Cubs, I'll play, and you pay me whatever you want to, and ended up winning the 1987 MVP award on a last place Cubs team. And I just think that's sad that he had to do it. He obviously he won MVP in '87. He ended up making it to the Hall of Fame. His career is fine. He's fine. He's not poor old pitiful Andre Dawson, but it's a shame that players like him and Tim Raines, who both ended up making it to the Hall of Fame, had their careers hurt like that. Bob Horner was another one. Ended up going to Japan. Horner should have been bid on by teams and made a lot of money, and it aggravates the hell out of me. Gary Woods, Kurt Bavacqua, Pat Sheridan, and Astros leaders. Jose Cruz, continuous service since October of '74. Big fat gum stain. Listen, I could open up tons of these. I'll do another video I just don't want to make this video longer than, it's about to be 40 minutes long for 4 packs of cards. I'm sorry about that. I will try to speed it up, but if you know me and if you like the way I open cards, then you understand. I really am passionate about this stuff, and I love to sit around and just talk baseball, so why not? Why not? Anyway, thanks for watching this video. We got a few good cards in there, a few good Hall of Famers. These aren't worth a lot, but to me, they are worth the world. I love these cards, and I've held onto these for a good 10 years, maybe, waiting to open these up at the right time, and hopefully I've picked it. Until next time, guys, take care.